Let me paint you a picture. You're doing everything to get her attention. You make her laugh, you bend over backward to keep her happy. You're constantly wondering what she's thinking, what will finally make her value you. But the truth is, you've lost something in the process. Yourself. You've put your self-worth right there on the table, hoping she'll notice, and that's exactly where things have gone wrong. What are you doing, my friend? Have you really convinced yourself that chasing her, bending to her every whim, is going to make her realize your value? It's time for a wake-up call, because the more you run after her, the further she's going to pull away. And here's the harsh truth. She won't miss you, she won't value you, and she definitely won't come crawling back if you keep acting like she's the center of your universe. You've done it all, haven't you? And where has it gotten you? Nowhere. You think that if you attract her, if you finally make her see how much you care, she'll fall for you, right? But let's be real. You can't fix your self-esteem through her approval. If you're sitting there, hoping that her validation is going to make you feel whole, then you've already lost the battle. Today we're going to break down exactly how to apply this ancient Stoic wisdom to your modern life. We're going to explore the top 10 female weaknesses every man must know. And trust me, once you understand these weaknesses, everything will change. You'll stop chasing, and they'll start chasing you. So, get ready, because this is the beginning of a new chapter for you. No more begging for attention. No more overthinking. No more giving away your power. This is where the real shift begins. Let's go. Number 1. The steadfast man. Let's get something straight from the start. In today's world, women are surrounded by attention. It's a non-stop barrage of notifications, messages, compliments, and a flood of potential matches every time they open a dating app. So with all this available attention, why is it that so many men still fail to stand out in the dating game? The answer is simple: inconsistency. Most men today are flaky, unreliable, and give up too easily. And guess what? Women notice this immediately. Here's the harsh reality. Women don't trust easily, and who can blame them? They've been conditioned by experiences where men disappear at the first sign of difficulty. Whether it's after a few dates or even months into a relationship, women are constantly on guard because too many times they've seen men fail to show up, fail to follow through, and ultimately fail to be reliable. This is why the man who stands firm in his actions, his decisions, and his words becomes an instant standout in her life. He's different. He's consistent. He's a man who can be trusted. Being steadfast is not just about showing up on time for a date or remembering her birthday. No, it's much deeper than that. It's about embodying stability and reliability in every aspect of your life. It's about being the kind of man who not only says what he'll do, but also does it, without hesitation, without excuses. That kind of dependability, in a dating world full of flakiness and uncertainty, is like finding an anchor in the middle of a storm. It's rare, and women appreciate it more than you think. Let's break it down to the basics. Start by being consistent with the small things. If you say you're going to text her later, then make sure you do it. If you promise to call her at a specific time, don't just aim for around that time. Be exact. Be dependable. When she sees that you follow through, even with the little things, it sends a powerful message. It shows her that you're a man of your word, someone she can count on. Now, being steadfast doesn't mean being rigid. You don't have to be boring or predictable. It's not about following a strict schedule without any flexibility. It's about being someone who is dependable and who values their commitments. If you say you'll be there, you're there. If you make plans, you follow through. It's about creating a sense of security in her mind. She needs to know that you're a man who can be counted on in both the small moments and the big ones. In today's fast-paced dating scene, where so many men are easily distracted by the next shiny object or the next notification, the man who can provide stability and consistency stands out. Women are often bombarded with shallow attention from guys who are here today, gone tomorrow. But when you become the exception, the man who stays true to his word, you suddenly become a rare and valuable asset in her life. The more consistent you are, the more she begins to trust you. And let's be real. Trust is the foundation of any relationship, whether it's just starting out or years down the road. Without trust, there's no depth, no real connection. When you're steadfast, you give her the peace of mind that comes with knowing she's dealing with someone who's reliable, not someone who's going to vanish at the first sign of trouble. But let's take it one step further. Being steadfast isn't just about how you act with her. It's about how you carry yourself in your own life. Are you consistent in your work, in your friendships, in your personal goals? The truth is, women notice these things. They pay attention to how you handle other aspects of your life because it reflects on how you'll handle a relationship. If you're someone who's all over the place, someone who doesn't stick to their word, it shows that you might not be reliable in a relationship either. The man who is steadfast in all areas of his life, whether it's work, fitness, friendships, or even hobbies, exudes a quiet confidence. This is the man who doesn't need to make grand promises or sweep her off her feet with empty words. He lets his actions do the talking. And actions, as they say, speak louder than words. When you're the guy who is steady, who follows through, and who doesn't flake when things get hard, you become her anchor. And in a world full of fleeting attention, distractions, and men who can't commit anything, that kind of stability is invaluable. She'll notice it, and more importantly, she'll respect it. This kind of steadfastness also communicates something else. You're not desperate. You're not out there trying to impress her with grand gestures because you're comfortable in who you are. You're consistent because that's who you are, not because you're trying to win her approval. And trust me, women can sense that. They can tell when a man is acting out of desperation versus when he's acting from a place of confidence and inner strength. So the next time you think about how to stand out in her life, remember this. It's not about being the flashiest, the loudest, or even the most romantic. It's about being the one she can count on. Be the man who shows up, who follows through, and who is unwavering in his commitment to his word. That's the man she'll remember. That's the man she'll want to be with. And that's the man who will win her respect and admiration, not through words, but through action. Here's your affirmation for today. I am steadfast. Let it sink in. Feel it resonate within you. And when you're ready, drop it in the comments. Let the world know that you're not just another man in the crowd. You're the steadfast one. You're the one who stands firm in his commitments, in his actions, and in his values. Trust me, they'll notice. Number 2, confidence. So folks, we've all heard it before. Confidence is attractive, but let's dig deeper into what that really means. You see, confidence isn't about being the loudest person in the room or acting like you have it all figured out. True confidence is far more subtle, more grounded. It's the quiet, unwavering belief that you are enough, just as you are. That's what makes it magnetic. It's rare. In a world full of men trying to prove themselves to others, that kind of quiet self-assurance stands out like a beacon in the dark. Women are naturally drawn to confident men, and there's a reason for that. Confidence signals security, and let's be honest, everyone, including women, has their own insecurities. They worry about how they look, how they're perceived, and whether they measure up. So when a woman meets a man who doesn't waver in his self-worth, who doesn't need her to validate him, it's like a breath of fresh air. This is why confident men seem to have a magnetic pull in a sea of insecurity. Think about it. Most guys are out there relying on external factors for their confidence, their job, their appearance, their social status. They tie their sense of self-worth to these things. But here's the brutal truth. What happens when those things disappear? When the job is lost, the looks fade, or the social circle moves on? Suddenly, they're left without the foundation they've built their self-esteem on, and that's when everything falls apart. True confidence doesn't come from these temporary things. It comes from within. It's about knowing your value regardless of what's happening around you. It's about being untouchable in the face of life's uncertainties. And let me tell you, when you've cultivated that kind of internal confidence, you become a force to be reckoned with. You're no longer shaken by rejection, rattled by setbacks, or in need of anyone's approval, especially not a woman's. And that, right there, is what makes you irresistible. When a man has this type of confidence, he stands out. Why? Because most people, men and women alike, are constantly looking for external validation. They want approval from others to feel good about themselves, But a truly confident man, he doesn't need that. He walks into a room and commands respect without saying a word. He's not trying to impress anyone because he knows he's already enough. And that's the kind of energy that women find irresistible. So how do you build this kind of confidence? It's not something you're born with. It's something you develop over time. It starts by setting goals for yourself and achieving them, no matter how small. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, you're telling your mind, I can trust me, I follow through. This builds a foundation of trust and respect within yourself. And that's where real confidence comes from. You don't need a woman's approval or anyone else's approval when you know you've got your own back. Another thing to remember is that confidence doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean you have to be the best at everything. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Confidence means being comfortable with your imperfections. It's about owning who you are, flaws and all. When you're okay with your weaknesses, they no longer hold power over you. And guess what? Women notice that. They're drawn to men who are real, who don't pretend to be something they're not. Insecurity shows up when you're constantly trying to hide parts of yourself. When you're afraid that if someone saw the real you, they wouldn't like it. But true confidence comes from embracing all parts of yourself. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's saying, yeah, I have flaws, but they don't define me. And when a woman sees that level of self-acceptance, it's refreshing. It's attractive because it's authentic. Too many men spend their lives trying to fit into a mold of what they think women want. They change their personality, their style, or their behavior to get attention. But here's the kicker. The moment you stop trying to be what you think women want and start being unapologetically yourself, that's when the magic happens. That's when you become magnetic. Because there's nothing more attractive than someone who is secure in who they are, who doesn't feel the need to prove anything to anyone. Let me be clear though, building confidence doesn't mean becoming arrogant. It's not about thinking you're better than anyone else. Confidence is about knowing your value without needing to put anyone else down to feel good about yourself. It's a quiet strength, not a loud declaration. And trust me, women can tell the difference. They can sense when a man is truly confident versus when he's just putting on a show. Authentic confidence is calming, reassuring, and dependable. It doesn't demand attention, it naturally draws it in. So here's the challenge for you. Start working on your internal confidence today. Set small goals for yourself and achieve them. Build that trust with yourself. And most importantly, start owning who you are, flaws and all. Stop looking for external validation and instead focus on becoming the best version of yourself. When you do that, women will notice. They'll be drawn to you not because you're trying to impress them, but because your confidence speaks for itself. Remember, confidence isn't something you have to shout about. It's something you live, something you embody. And when you do that, you'll find that not only do women respond differently to you, but you'll also start to feel a deep sense of security and peace within yourself. So start now. Build that unwavering belief in yourself and watch as the world, including the women in it, start to take notice. Number 3, ambition. So folks, let's talk about one of the most powerful traits a man can have, ambition. In today's world where complacency is often encouraged and mediocrity is celebrated, an ambitious man is like a breath of fresh air. He stands out as someone who's constantly striving to better himself. And trust me, that's something women notice right away. Ambition isn't just about career success or building an empire. It's about having goals, a sense of purpose, and the relentless drive to keep moving forward. And here's the truth. Women are naturally drawn to men who are going places, who have a vision for their lives, because it signals that you're not just coasting, you're aiming for something greater. Now let's be clear. Ambition doesn't mean you have to be working 80 hours a week or planning to launch the next big startup. It doesn't mean your entire life has to revolve around building a fortune. What it means is that you have goals, you're working towards something that matters, and you're not willing to settle for good enough. That's the essence of ambition. It's about refusing to stay stagnant, refusing to accept mediocrity. And women, they find that incredibly attractive. Why? Because ambition signals stability, progress, and a future. It makes them feel like they're part of something bigger than just the day-to-day. But here's where a lot of guys get it wrong. They talk about ambition, but they don't back it up with action. Words are cheap, my friends. You can't just say you're ambitious. You have to live it. You have to show it through your actions. It's not enough to say you have goals. Are you actively working toward those goals? Are you taking steps every day to get closer to where you want to be? Because that's what ambition looks like in real life. Whether it's advancing in your career, working on personal growth, or dedicating time to hobbies that push you out of your comfort zone, ambition means you're always striving to become a better version of yourself. Think about it. Ambition isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about showing that you're on a journey of self-improvement. And the best part? When a woman sees that you're driven, that you have your own mission in life, she's going to want to be a part of that. She'll be drawn to the energy and the forward momentum. Ambition tells her that you're someone who doesn't just live for today, you're building a future, and people naturally gravitate toward that kind of energy. Now let's get real for a second. If you're not actively working on your ambition, it's time to start. Set goals, both short-term and long-term. These don't have to be grandiose, but they should push you. They should challenge you to grow. Maybe it's getting a promotion at work, learning a new skill, or finally getting in the best shape of your life. Whatever it is, make sure it's something that moves you forward. That's the key. Ambition is about forward motion, and it's about not getting comfortable where you are. And here's something important to remember. Ambition doesn't just affect one part of your life, it spills into everything. The more you chase after your goals, the more confident and fulfilled you become. And that energy radiates. It's contagious. When you're working towards something meaningful, people notice. You carry yourself differently. You become more focused, more driven, and more alive. And trust me, that's attractive. But here's the kicker. Ambition isn't about seeking validation from others. It's about knowing your own worth and continuously raising your standards. You're not ambitious because you want someone to notice or give you credit. You're ambitious because you know you can do more, be more, and live more fully. And that kind of internal drive, it's rare. Most people settle for a life that's comfortable, but not you. You want more, and that ambition makes you stand out. At the end of the day, being ambitious means you're not willing to settle for yourself or for anyone else. You're always pushing the envelope, always striving for that next level. And when a woman sees that you're serious about your goals, she'll want to be part of that journey. She'll see that you're not just talking the talk, but you're walking the walk. You're building something bigger than just a relationship. You're building a future, and she'll be drawn to that vision. So, here's your challenge. Stop just thinking about ambition and start living it. Set those goals, no matter how small they may seem. Every little step you take is a step closer to becoming the best version of yourself. And when you embody that ambition, trust me, you'll see how people, especially women, respond to it. They'll be intrigued, they'll be captivated, and most importantly, they'll want to be part of the ride. Ambition isn't something you talk about, it's something you live. So start now, make those moves, and watch how it transforms not only your life, but the way others see you. Number 4. The bad boy. The bad boy. Women are drawn to them like moths to a flame. But let's be clear here. It's not because bad boys are jerks. No, the real appeal of the bad boy lies in something deeper. It's the unpredictability, the sense of mystery, and the mastery of emotional control that makes them so captivating. Women aren't looking for someone who will mistreat them, but rather someone who breaks the mold, someone who doesn't follow the same tired script. And that's exactly what the bad boy does. He doesn't follow the rules, he doesn't apologize for who he is, and he certainly doesn't cater to anyone's whims. That's what makes him irresistible. Let's dive a little deeper into why. Women don't want a man they can fully control. If everything is predictable, if everything is easy, the excitement fades. They crave the thrill of uncertainty, the rush of being with someone who's a little unpredictable, a little hard to pin down. The bad boy has his own life, his own priorities, and he doesn't revolve around her. This independence, this refusal to bend to every request or emotion, creates an aura of confidence that's magnetic. It's not about being rude or dismissive. It's about standing firm in who you are and not being swayed by the demands of others. And let's talk about one of the bad boy's biggest tools, emotional highs and lows. He's a master at creating emotional experiences that keep women on their toes. It's that rush of excitement followed by moments of calm that keep women coming back for more. The thrill of the chase, the sense that he's just a bit out of reach, makes every interaction feel more valuable. It's not just about the pursuit. It's about creating a dynamic where she's constantly engaged, constantly intrigued, and wondering what's next. But here's the thing. Being a bad boy doesn't mean you have to be a jerk. You can embody the traits that women find attractive without disrespecting them. It's all about maintaining a sense of mystery and emotional independence. You don't need to reveal everything about yourself right away. Keep certain things to yourself. Let her wonder where you are, what you're doing, and what's on your mind. This creates intrigue and keeps her invested in the relationship. When a woman can't predict your every move, she remains curious, which keeps the connection alive and exciting. One of the bad boy's greatest strengths is his emotional control. He doesn't let a woman dictate his mood. If she's upset, he stays calm. If she's happy, he enjoys the moment, but doesn't get lost in it. He doesn't let emotions, whether his or hers, run the show. This level of emotional control shows that he's in charge of his own life. He doesn't need external validation to feel good about himself, and that self-assurance is incredibly attractive. A man who can keep his cool no matter what is a man who stands out in a world full of people driven by their emotions. And it's not just about being cool or distant. It's about setting boundaries and sticking to them. The bad boy knows where he stands and doesn't compromise his values just to please someone else. That kind of steadfastness makes him seem more desirable because he isn't chasing approval. He's simply being himself. Women respect a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to walk away if something doesn't align with his vision. So, how do you start incorporating these traits into your life? Start by creating some space. Don't always be available. Don't be at her beck and call. Let her miss you. Let her wonder what you're doing. When she doesn't have access to you 24/7, she'll start to appreciate your presence more when you are around. It's about balance. Too much availability and you seem desperate. Too little and you seem distant. The bad boy strikes that perfect balance by being just unavailable enough to keep her interested, but still showing up when it counts. And remember, emotional independence is key. Don't let her emotions pull you off course. If she's in a bad mood, don't react. If she's overly happy, don't let it dictate your state of mind. You are your own man, and your emotional state should be rooted in your own sense of self, not in her responses. This calm, steady presence makes you someone she can rely on, but also someone who doesn't need constant validation. In the end, what women find irresistible about the bad boy isn't his attitude or how tough he seems. It's his confidence, his control, and his independence. He knows what he wants, and he's not afraid to go after it, but he doesn't need anyone's approval to feel good about himself. That's the kind of energy that attracts women like nothing else. Here's your affirmation. I am in control of my emotions, and I set the pace. Drop that in the comments if you're ready to embrace the qualities of the bad boy without losing your integrity. Stick with me, because next, we're diving deeper into how emotional control shifts the power dynamic in your favor. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Number 5. Ignored attention. So folks, let's talk about something that gets to the core of human nature, especially when it comes to women. Attention. Women crave attention. There's no denying that. But here's the twist. They don't value the attention they get too easily. In today's world, attention is abundant. A woman can post a picture or status update, and within minutes her inbox is flooded with likes, comments, and DMs. Compliments pour in, validation is constant, and you know what? It becomes meaningless. Why? Because it's too easy to get. The man who really stands out is the one who doesn't offer that attention on a silver platter. He doesn't immediately rush in with praise or try to win her over with constant messages. Instead, he holds back, and that, my friend, makes all the difference. When you ignore a woman's need for validation, it drives her crazy. Think about it. She's so used to being showered with attention that when she encounters a man who doesn't give her what she expects, it throws her off. She starts to wonder why. Why isn't he reacting the way all the other men do? Why isn't he telling me how beautiful I am or commenting on my latest post? This is where the magic happens. The attention you withhold becomes a scarce commodity, and as we all know, scarcity creates value. In a world overflowing with validation, your attention suddenly becomes worth so much more. She starts seeking it out, trying to figure out what makes you different. And here's the thing. They may not admit it, but women love the chase just as much as men do. When your attention isn't handed to her on a silver platter, when she has to earn it, that's when she truly begins to value it. Let's break it down. When you don't immediately give her what she wants, whether it's compliments, attention, or validation, you're signaling something important. Your attention is worth something. You're not just another guy hoping for a reply or a heart on your comment. You're a man who knows his worth, and that is irresistible. You're telling her that your validation isn't free and that she has to work for it. Now, this doesn't mean playing games or being rude. It's about balance. You're not ignoring her completely. You're just not giving her the kind of easy validation that every other guy is throwing her way. When you hold back a bit, she starts to realize that your attention is different. It's valuable. And that's when she'll start chasing it. She'll begin putting in more effort, trying to get your attention, because now it's something she doesn't automatically have. But here's where most guys mess up. They're constantly texting her, liking all her social media posts, and complimenting her every chance they get. What does this do? It devalues their attention. When you're always available, always giving compliments, and always showing interest, it loses its impact. She'll take it for granted, because why wouldn't she? It's always there. So, what's the solution? Stop giving women free attention. Take a step back. Focus on yourself and your own goals. Let her come to you. Let her work for your attention. When she feels like she has to earn it, that's when she'll truly value it. It's simple. Scarcity creates desire. If you're constantly giving her validation, she won't appreciate it. But when she has to earn it, even a small compliment or a single message from you will feel incredibly rewarding to her. This, my friends, is the key to making your attention valuable. You're not just another guy fawning over her. You're a man who knows his worth, who understands that his attention is something special, and when she realizes that, she'll want it even more. So, next time you find yourself wanting to shower her with compliments or constantly text her, hold back. Let her feel the absence of your attention and watch how it changes the game. Here's your affirmation. My attention is valuable. Drop it in the comments and let the world know where you stand. Remember, it's not about playing hard to get. It's about recognizing your own worth and making sure others do too. Stay strong, stay confident, and let her work for what you naturally bring to the table. And trust me, once she realizes how valuable your attention is, she'll never take it for granted again. Number 6, pre-selection. So folks, let's dive into one of the most intriguing dynamics in attraction. Pre-selection. You've probably noticed it, right? The way women seem to gravitate towards men who are already surrounded by other women. It's not a coincidence. There's a psychological reason behind it, and it's called pre-selection. When a woman sees that other women find you desirable, it triggers something deep in her brain that says, this guy must be valuable. It's similar to how we all want to buy something that's in high demand. If everyone wants it, it must be worth having. Here's the deal. Pre-selection taps into the competitive nature of women. When she sees you hanging out with other attractive women, even if you're just friends, your value in her eyes skyrockets. She starts wondering, what is it about him? Why do these other women want to be around him? And that curiosity, folks, is what makes her want you even more. It's not just about physical attraction, it's about the social proof that you're a desirable man. And trust me, that's powerful. Think about it. Why do men who are in relationships often find themselves attracting more attention from women? It's not that these women are trying to break up the relationship or cause trouble. No, it's much deeper than that. They're drawn to the idea that this man is desirable, And if other women find him valuable, then there must be something special about him. It's like a silent endorsement. If others see worth in him, then maybe she should too. But here's where most guys go wrong. They think they need to chase after women to prove their value. But in reality, pre-selection works when you don't chase. Surround yourself with high-value women, even if they're just friends. Be comfortable, be confident, and let those interactions speak for themselves. When she sees you interacting effortlessly with other women, it signals that you're a man who's already been vetted, someone who doesn't need to beg for attention. The key here is subtlety. You don't need to flaunt it or make it obvious. It's in those small moments, laughing with a female friend, having an engaging conversation with someone attractive, that she'll start to see you differently. She'll think, if other women enjoy being around him, what am I missing? Here's the beauty of pre-selection. It works without you having to do much. You simply need to be in the right environment and let your natural charisma and social proof do the talking. The next time you're out with friends or interacting with women, keep this in mind. You don't need to chase. You don't need to impress. You just need to be yourself. And the pre-selection effect will kick in. Women will notice, and they'll start to wonder why you're in such high demand. And here's your affirmation: I attract effortlessly. Drop it in the comments and let the world know where you stand. You're not chasing, you're simply being, and the attraction follows naturally. Number 7, masculinity. So folks, in today's world, masculinity seems to be under attack from all directions. But let me tell you something. Women are biologically programmed to be attracted to masculine men. This isn't about being aggressive or dominating. It's about embodying true strength, physical, emotional, and mental. Women naturally gravitate toward men who can make them feel safe, who can lead with confidence, and who stand firm in their purpose. But here's where most guys get it wrong. Masculinity isn't just about having muscles or being physically imposing. It's about something deeper. It's about standing solid in your beliefs, knowing who you are, and not letting external circumstances sway you. Women are drawn to men who remain calm and composed, especially when things get tough. That's real masculinity, and trust me, it's rare these days. Look around in today's dating scene. Most men are too emotional, reacting to every little thing, letting the smallest issues knock them off balance. They let their emotions take control, and worse, they let women dictate how they feel. But a truly masculine man, he doesn't get rattled. He doesn't panic when things don't go his way. Instead, he stays cool, collected, and in charge, no matter what comes his way. That's the kind of strength women crave, the kind of strength that commands respect. Here's the thing. To start developing your masculine energy, you need to take responsibility for your life. Stop pointing fingers at others or blaming your circumstances. Own your actions, make decisive moves, and when challenges come your way, face them head-on without letting your emotions get the best of you. Masculine men don't crumble when the pressure builds. They rise to the occasion. And here's the key. Women want to feel safe and secure with a man who's in control, not just of his surroundings, but of himself. When you can master that, you'll stand out in a world where true masculinity is becoming harder to find. Number 8. Charismatic leadership. So, folks, after you start embracing charismatic leadership, something powerful begins to happen. Women are naturally drawn to men who exhibit leadership qualities. And trust me, this is where the game really changes. Now don't get it twisted. Being a leader doesn't mean you have to be the CEO of a company or have some grand title. Leadership is much simpler than that, and yet it's incredibly attractive. It's about being decisive, knowing where you're going in life, and showing that you have a plan. Women want to be with someone who can take charge and lead them confidently. This doesn't mean you need to be overbearing or controlling. In fact, the opposite is true. Charismatic leadership is about balancing authority with charm and respect. It's not about demanding control, but leading through your actions, confidence, and making others feel valued. When you're with her, whether it's on a date or in a conversation, lead by example. Plan the evening, make decisions about where to go, and guide the conversation in a direction that feels natural and enjoyable. She'll notice that you're not constantly seeking validation or unsure of yourself. Instead, you're a man who knows what he wants and is confident in getting it. That kind of decisiveness is like a magnet. It pulls her in because it signals strength, security, and excitement. She'll feel a sense of ease and attraction when she's with you, because you're not putting the burden of decision-making on her. You're guiding the interaction, showing her that you've got it handled, and that's incredibly appealing. Here's the truth. Women are naturally attracted to leaders because it makes them feel secure. When you demonstrate charismatic leadership, you're telling her without words that she can trust you to take charge when it matters. This isn't about domination, it's about balance. Balancing confidence with kindness, decisiveness with empathy. When you can lead without being overbearing, it's a sign of true strength. The next time you're on a date, take that leadership role. Make the decisions, guide the flow of the night, and trust me, she will notice how different you are from all the others. She'll feel valued, protected, and deeply attracted to you, all because you stepped up as a leader. Here's your affirmation. I lead with confidence and charisma. Drop it in the comments to let the world know where you stand. You're stepping into your role as a charismatic leader, and the impact is undeniable. Stay with me, because up next, we're diving into the ultimate trait that makes all the difference: emotional strength. You won't want to miss it. Number 9. Emotional intelligence. So folks, let's talk about one of the most underrated qualities a man can have: emotional intelligence. Most men seem to think that being emotionally intelligent is about being overly sensitive or emotional, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Emotional intelligence is much more than that. It's about understanding your own emotions and, just as importantly, the emotions of others. It's knowing how to respond appropriately in different situations, when to listen, when to offer support, and when to step back and give space. This is a game changer in relationships, especially with women. You see, women are naturally emotional beings, and they need a man who can handle that without trying to fix everything. Most guys make the mistake of trying to offer solutions every time a woman expresses her feelings. But here's the thing, women don't always want you to solve their problems. What they truly want is to feel understood. They want you to listen, to validate their emotions, and to be present with them in that moment. And when you can do this, you create a deep emotional connection that most men will never achieve. Here's where the power of emotional intelligence really shines. It's not just about handling their emotions, but also about managing your own. Women don't want a man who is emotionally volatile, who lets his emotions get the best of him at every turn. They're drawn to men who remain calm under pressure, who can navigate the highs and lows of life with grace and resilience. This stability is incredibly attractive because it signals strength and maturity, traits that women deeply respect and admire. So, how do you start building emotional intelligence? The first step is to practice active listening. The next time she's upset about something, resist the urge to jump in with solutions. Just listen. Let her vent. Let her express whatever is on her mind. Acknowledge her feelings without judgment. Show empathy. It's a simple but powerful way to create a level of trust and emotional intimacy that most men never even come close to building. And the best part? This isn't just about her. By developing emotional intelligence, you're becoming more in tune with yourself, which means you'll be able to handle the ups and downs of your own life more effectively. You won't be rattled by small setbacks or frustrated by things beyond your control. Instead, you'll face them with calmness and clarity, which will only make you more attractive and respected. So here's your affirmation for today. I am emotionally intelligent. Drop it in the comments, folks, and let the world know where you stand. You're not just another guy who reacts on impulse. You're the man who understands, who listens, and who connects on a deeper level. Stay with me because next, we'll dive into the importance of building lasting confidence. Number 10. Passionate interests. So folks, let's talk about something that has a magnetic effect on women. Passion. When a woman sees that you're passionate about something, whether it's your career, a hobby, or personal development, it draws her in. Why? Because passion is energy. It shows that you have purpose, you're driven, and you're not just drifting through life. But here's the real kicker. You have to pursue your passions for yourself, not to impress anyone else. Too many men make the mistake of faking passion to win a woman's attention. And guess what? Women can see right through that. Authenticity is key. When you're genuinely passionate about something, you don't have to try to attract anyone. That fire you carry for what you love naturally pulls people in. They want to be part of your journey, part of your mission. It's not just about what you're passionate about, it's about the way you go after it. When she sees how deeply committed you are to your goals, she'll want to be part of that world you're building. So, find what drives you, whether it's your career, fitness, a side hustle, or something personal. Pour your energy into it, not because you're trying to impress her, but because it gives your life meaning. Remember, passion is contagious. When you're focused on your own growth and dedicated to your pursuits, the right people, women included, will naturally gravitate toward you. So folks, that's it. Now you're standing tall, equipped with the knowledge and mindset to take full control of your life. You've seen how these traits can transform not only how others see you, but more importantly, how you see yourself. If you're ready to keep growing, evolving, and becoming the best version of you, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're here every day, bringing you insights and strategies to strengthen your confidence, build your inner power, and realize your true worth. And don't forget to smash that like button below. It helps spread this message to others who need it too. Remember, you've got this. Keep pushing forward, stay strong, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep leveling up, because this journey is just getting started.